Do you suffer from bloating, diarrhea, constipation, or gas? If so, let's go ahead and talk about how we can possibly turn these symptoms into a claim. Let's get into it.
Whiskey 9 Yankee 7 November Golf, over.
So what are we talking about here? We are talking about IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And IBS is characterized as stomach pain, chronic diarrhea, chronic constipation, and chronic gas. These symptoms can vastly affect a veteran's life, ranging from mild symptoms all the way to severe symptoms. Let's go ahead and look at what the VA is using to rate these severities. All right, so let me start by saying there is actually no direct diagnostic code for IBS. It just doesn't exist in the 38 CFR. Instead, they use 7319, which is irritable colon syndrome. Okay, so under irritable colon syndrome, they have 3 different ratings. You have a 0, a 10, and a 30. For 0%, which is categorized as mild, is a disturbance of the bowel function with occasional episodes of abdominal distress. Then moving into 10%, which is moderate, frequent episodes of bowel disturbance with abdominal distress. And then moving up into the 30, which is severe, which is diarrhea or alternating diarrhea and constipation with more or less constant abdominal distress. Understanding where you lie in these ratings is going to be very important, because then that prompts you to understand what you need to be highlighting in your evidence that you're regathering when you are about to submit these claims. If you understand that you're having diarrhea multiple times a month, make sure you're documenting these, submit those to your primary health provider, and then make sure that they're documenting it into their notes as well. Though the exact cause of IBS is not fully understood by healthcare writ large, there are many things that exacerbate IBS, such as diet, if you're lactose intolerant, medication, stress, anxiety, all of these things can cause or progress IBS. So it's very important for you to understand what is causing your IBS. So speaking of medication, this leads us to our secondary list. There is a notable link between IBS and mental health conditions such as PTSD, depression, anxiety. Not only are these conditions cause a change in our hormones, they also cause us to take other medications to try to mitigate symptoms. These medications can also exacerbate our IBS and cause it to become more severe over time. So this is something to consider when you're trying to connect IBS to PTSD or other mental health conditions. Okay, so as always, our 3 golden rules when it comes to service connection. In-service evidence, so we need to be able to connect IBS to something in service, whether that be a specific event or it being a secondary to our already service-connected PTSD or other mental health conditions. Second, our current diagnosis. We need to have a current diagnosis of IBS or a service treatment plan for IBS to really make sure that they're making this connection. Last but not least, the Nexus. It has to be connected to our service in some way, shape, or form. Again, if you have that secondary connection to our mental health conditions, fine. But if you don't, you need to be able to make that connection to your service if this is going to be a direct connected claim. No matter what, you know the deal. It's all about the evidence and all about the service connection. If you do not have at least those 2, it's going to be very, very hard for you to get service connected for IBS. Guys, there's been an ongoing thing where the VA disability guys will negate or just forego CMP exams. So do not depend on VA for a current diagnosis. If you can get your primary care provider to refer you to a specialist, or then they themselves actually give you a current diagnosis for IBS or any of your conditions, go ahead and do that and bring that evidence to your claim. I myself have seen quite a few CMP exams not happen, so do not bank on the VA to give you that current diagnosis through a CMP exam. All right, so just wanted to get that out there very, very fast, very, very concise, because I know your time is very important. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps our channel out quite a bit so we can bring more information that you care about to you. As always, this is Jay with TheCivDiv. Stay resilient, stay strong, and I'll see you later.